but I did give you the information, and
They made their own choice.
you did.
Stu, athletes can be challenging to work with. A lot of them are type A personalities. When they have dealing with the back injury, there's the whole mental aspect of it. Of course, the physical, maybe the love of your life being taken away from you. But a lot of these athletes want to get back to sport. A lot of people want to get back too early. Rebuilding them is something that I like to do, and I've worked with some. Most recently, I have a 57-year-old Green Beret that went back in, got promoted to Sergeant Major, and had to go through a course. Well, he was not in good shape a year and a half ago, and we had to just do a few things that you taught me about not replicating the course, building more capacity, maybe training the course obstacles a little bit just to be familiar with it, and then let him rest going into it. And he smoked it. It was a joke to him. I like rebuilding the Green Berets and the SEALs, but they can be difficult to work with. When is the time where what they're trying to do is too reckless and you have to almost take your hands off because you know there's a likelihood of catastrophe? Even if they've gotten out of pain, but you see what they're doing and you try to help them, they just won't listen, you see what's happening. When is it time to go hands off?
I can't answer that in a blanket statement because people are people.
Right.
Everybody's a little bit different. I used to believe that if you give the right information to a person, they will make the right decision. And I still believe that, and that's one of my foundations, to try and explain as best I can what the facts are that they can base their decision on. But there's so many influences that impact this whole thing. I'll give you an example. Well, this is an Olympic year, so we're busy. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of very diverse Olympic athletes who are tapering down now. Some of them have to go through their Olympic trials before they get on their country's team, etc. We had a minister of sport, so the top government official of this country. He called me up and he said, we are playing the most important match in our country's history, but our star player just had a spondy fracture, and so fracture of the pars, and he hadn't gone to a full spondylitic shift yet, but it was a stress fracture with an open fracture now. Mm-hmm. And he said, can we send this player to you, or can we fly you into our country? Because the country's psyche depends on us winning now. Wow. This is that important. And so I looked at the player, and my response was, you can get this player to play. He won't be 100%. Mm-hmm. It's not possible. But he can play. But if he does, it will be the last game that he does play in his life in this sport. Or you can rest him for half a year, hope that a bony union forms. I can give you some thoughts on all of that. And he may be back next year. Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe better, maybe worse, but he has a chance. What do you think the government decided they would do?
Put him right back in the game.
Yeah, they did. And the player played at about 80%, and they lost, and he never played again.
Mm. PowerX Strength CBD is 100% THC-free, derived from hemp. There's 0 THC in our products, and proudly, we've had multiple people get drug tested while taking our sublingual drops and gummies and have passed their drug tests. We have sublingual drops in cinnamon, strawberry, and original. We have 4 topicals in balms, lavender, sage, lemongrass, and natural.
We also have a roll-on product called CryoFreeze. It's 1,000 milligrams of CBD isolate with a menthol formula similar to BioFreeze. And lastly, we have our brand new gummy line in bears, worms, apple rings, peach rings, and watermelon slices. Thank you so much for your support, and have a great day.
So there was, I gave them some information, and that was how it was consumed. So it's we both deal with combat athletes, and well, not only combat athletes. I look at you yourself. There was Brian Carroll getting under well over half a ton of load. I don't know if you know this, but I had diarrhea that day.
You did?
Because, my stomach was so in a turmoil, knowing that here is my friend doing something that it may not turn out very well.
Right.
And when you work with some of the combat athletes, they are the most passionate people you'll ever meet, and they're good people.
Mm-hmm.
And they are putting their life and their future health on the line. I have diarrhea. Sorry.
No,
It's my stomach is I've done the best I can, and it's like watching your son get hit, and maybe that won't bother some people, but it bothers me.
Right.
If I wish I could go and find something else to do, but that's not my job.
Right.
Give them the information, do your best job in the most professional way that you know how, and you have to let it go. And if they decide to listen, if they decide not to listen, I've done my best. Mm-hmm. It's hands off. It's like raising kids.
Yeah.
You try and give them the best information and the best circumstances, but it's not right to protect them from everything.
Right.
They've got to learn. There's some hard lessons. You've got to let them learn that.
Yeah.
But do you stop them from doing something where they might die, or do you stop them from doing something where they're going to get a little hurt possibly? And well, that's some hard-won wisdom.
I got one little follow-up to that. With the back injury, was that a lesson that I learned when I tried to come back too quick? You had to just let me do it because it was 11 months or 12 months since I saw you.
I do believe I said I thought you were pushing.
For sure, you did. Absolutely. I needed 18 months. 11 months wasn't enough.
Yeah. Well,
luckily I didn't blow apart.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to stop you.
Yeah.
But I did give you the information, and
I made the wrong choice.
You did.
But I learned so much from that day, thankfully, without having to pay for it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I shut it down, as people can read about in Gift of Injury. I need another 6 or 7 months to rebuild the foundation a little bit more and have more capacity. I was fine day to day, but when you're talking about the compression load tolerance to get through a powerlifting meet at, squatting in 1,000 pound, benching 8, pulling 8, it's significant. For sure I rushed it, especially with the bone injury I had.
Well, do you remember the day we knocked it back and forth? What's the title of our book going to be?
Right.
And it was Gift of Injury. Was it The Gift of Injury? No,
right.
It was Gift of Injury. The first injury pushed together.
Right.
But it was that second injury that showed you the importance of just a little bit more professionalism.
Yeah.
And you will not rush Mother Nature and biology. You had to romance it. You had to harness all of the components of biology to allow those tissues to heal.
Yeah.
And you decided to violate and test some of those natural principles. And once in a while, you might get away with it. Mm-hmm. Certainly if you're younger, you can get away with it. But with more miles on your body, you decrease the risk of getting away with it, and we'll just chalk that up to tuition. You paid a little tuition. However, that was the gift that then you really harnessed biology, and look what it did for you.
Right.
Got your world record.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please like my content, share my content. Check out powerxstrength.com for more information. Book a consult with me. Check out my CBD products. Check out my books. And thank you so much.